Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. Welcome back to Crosspoint with me. This is the auction that I purchased that BMW from with the oil leak. So we lost light because we walked into this big warehouse. I guess at least it's not super windy today, but yesterday I was here at the live auction and I purchased 4 vehicles. We are picking up all 4 today. We're going to try to pick up all 4 today. So here's the first one. This is the one I did not drive or really get to inspect much of anything. But as you guys can see, it is low on air. So actually, yeah, we're gonna get started. Let me put this gate release in here. It's kind of dark in here. Let's roll the intro and start by checking fluids and whatnot. So this truck is a little bit rough on the outside. Wow, it's actually looking pretty good on the camera. But I have like literally no light from what I can see. I think message yesterday showed add a little bit of oil, and we are, well, I don't know. Actually seems like we're fine. Okay, now, oh, there it is. Yeah, this is a 2006 Chevy Silverado. It's a rear-wheel drive. It's a little rough on the outside, like I think clear coat fading. You know, there's a scuff here, scuff here, scuff here. Oh, that looks like probably wash out. I mean, just very minor things. But the truck rolled through. It had no check engine light on. I actually didn't see this tire having this in here. I only saw it once I bought the truck and I came back here to check it out. So curious what this is. And I do have, dang, I do have some tools with me. Hopefully I could patch it up in here right now. Wow, that's a long screw. Put that here. Okay, this is what I got. So this I don't need because I was able to pull that out. I will need this, that, and a patch, and then somehow get some air in this tire. But let's get started. There she is. Tire is actually all patched up. Let me put some more glue on the outside here. But honestly, guys, I feel like there's a little too much. The hole is too big. So we might need a new tire. But I don't want to replace the tire. I've been replacing too many tires lately. And the tread is actually not terrible. But anywho, so this is the first truck. I need to go back outside where my wife is and grab an air pump so that I could pump up this tire. Or maybe ask one of the employees here to grab it. So I only grabbed this gate release because yesterday when I saw the truck, it wasn't super flat. Like, it was flat, but I figured at the very least I'd be able to drive it out. I don't want to drive it out literally on the rim like this and damage the tire. I'd rather try to put some air in it. So anyways, let's go back outside and get the other gate release. The other car that I got is actually another truck. It's a F-150, but I drove it yesterday. It drove totally fine, and then I was backing it up into the spot you guys will see shortly, and it's actually very weak in reverse, but it's a pretty clean truck. I didn't pay a lot of money for it, so I know I'm not gonna lose money on it, even if I sell it as is. And this is it right here. So this is what we got. Here we go, getting some air in this thing and heading out. You guys will see that I said check oil level, and we did check oil level. It seems fine. So I mean, it might be a little too much. I don't, well, basically we will have to check the oil level again. And there we go, truck started, no issues. I mean, it sounds super healthy. So with blessings from above, Hopefully I make it to the lot in one piece with no issues, because this auction is somewhat far from my lot, probably 10 miles or so. So I don't know, 25-minute drive one way, and I got 4 cars to pick up. The other one I'm driving by right now, probably won't show it to you guys, but you saw a peek of the Ford F-150. And what I was gonna say is, when I was backing up, it didn't have that much power in reverse. So we do have either like low fluid, transmission fluid, or an issue, but it seemed like moving forward it did just fine. Okay, truck is out. I have enough fuel. There's no other warning lights whatsoever. So heading out. Yeah, we're gonna try to take this thing straight to my detailer, or at least through DEQ. We'll see whichever one kind of comes first, just so that I don't lose any time, because out of the 4 cars that I got, 3 of them need a detail. So detailer is gonna be busy for the next week or so, and we are rolling out.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
First one is back at the lot, and now that it's out of the warehouse, we could get a better look at it. So I mean, like, it has minor imperfections here and there. I think I parked with the patch underneath, which is kind of good, let it have pressure on there. But it looks like we didn't really lose any tire pressure. And this truck runs on me. I'm looking at it, I parked it crooked. But there's like literally no rattles. Honestly, like mechanically, it shifts good, it runs good, makes good power. So I didn't notice a single flaw aside from body stuff. So I think that was a really good purchase for me. I guess the only stuff is it's not a full-size cab and it's not 4x4. But let's run through the numbers. The truck is actually fairly clean on the inside, although it will still go through detail. But my winning bid was $4,400. Buyer fee was $325. So total I paid $47.25 for this truck. It has 154,000 miles. Like I said, it runs really well, smooth, no rattles, no clunking. I mean, none of that. It seems very solid mechanically. There was another one that actually had leather, full-size cab, and 4x4, but it had like 187,000 miles. It sold for like $7,800. So I think getting this one with fees for $47.25, I feel like I stole this truck, guys. Especially now that I know it runs really well mechanically. Very happy with the first one. So 1 out of 4 was a good purchase. Let's get back to Cross Point.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Back at Cross Point, and here is the next victim, so to say. Let me throw my pull-out paperwork. Actually, I could start it. It did run. Hopefully it starts again. I see the hood propped open, so okay. Now, is it a different key that I have to use? There we go. Okay, well, this doesn't have any power windows. What I did want to check is actually the transmission fluid. I know it's best to check it when it's warm. Where's our little lever? Look at that, guys. Clean engine bay. The reason why I want to check the transmission fluid is to see if it's low. It is not, but it's not fully red. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, this is our next one that I'm pulling out, and this one is a little sketch. So this truck, we are a little bit low on fuel, but the gas light isn't on yet, so hopefully I'll make it. So why this one is a little sketch, because I saw it go through yesterday. Everything seemed fine, it sounded healthy, I didn't notice any issues. So I ended up getting it. I actually got it for a really cheap price, and I'll tell you guys the price once I, one second, we have a little situation here. Sorry, car. Sorry, that was messy. So, clearly we have a few more or less issues with this one. Like, it says that all doors or a door is open. Brake light is on, and then it tells me I'm not buckled in when clearly I am buckled in. Let me get out of here nice and safely, and then we will resume. Alrighty, so sorry, I'm just, you know, speaking out loud as I film. Oh, that's gonna be a little bit annoying. Let me see if I could. Nothing with the brake. So it seems like there's a sensor or something that's malfunctioning. Okay, back to my main point. I drove it after I purchased it. I took it down the runway. It seemed like it ran totally fine, no issues. And then I started to back up, and we are kind of lacking on power. And I've had an F-150 before with transmission issues, so I was kind of anticipating it at the price I got it for. I mean, honestly, I stole this thing, but I have so much room to fix even like this, you know, little minor stuff, fix the transmission if needed, and still make thousands in profit. But the goal with this car is, as long as there's no check engine light, as long as it moves totally fine, like going forward, I'm gonna take it through DQ, make sure it passes, and then I'm gonna try to sell it as is. If I don't sell it as is, then I'm gonna take it to Copart. I don't have any intention on fixing this truck, but I know trucks are desirable. This one is a long bed. It's rear wheel drive, and it has the smallest motor, but you know, a leather interior, and it's fairly clean. So honestly, I should be able to clear 1,500 bucks on this truck as is without doing anything to it. Maybe even 2 grand, we'll see. But it has 169,000 miles, so miles are a little bit higher. But again, if it moves totally fine moving forward, then no issues. So I'm gonna drive it, hopefully no issues with the transmission. I'll see you guys at the lot, and I'll provide an update.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
The seatbelt light, I put the seatbelt in on the passenger side, and it looks like it took care of that. What was the other thing I felt on the freeway? Seemed like it was a like unbalanced tire, so at higher speeds would kind of bounce just a little bit. Again, nothing crazy. So honestly guys, I would say that this is another winner considering how much I paid for it and the money I'm gonna make on it. Again, anytime I make money, it's a winner. So the winning bid for that one I think was $2,100, and after fees I'm like 2,300 bucks into it, maybe a little bit over $2,300 for a running car or truck with a long bed in pretty good condition, aside from, you know, those little lights and the reverse being the big major issue. But it still works, so it's not fully out. I'm curious if maybe a transmission flush with good fluid and an additive will kind of take care of that or not. But again, it's not something that I'm going to be taking care of at this moment. We're gonna sell it as is, so let's head back to Cross Point and get the third car.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Alrighty, third time back at Cross Point, and this rain is like coming and going. It's raining, then it's not. It was literally just not raining 15 seconds ago, and it's raining. Well, we just had lunch because we've been at this for 2 hours now, just because each way takes about 30 minutes, plus minus, you know, minor stuff here and there. But really awkward layout here at the auction. Oh, look, 2 CLS's generations apart. But I think behind this Honda is my little Nissan. There it is. And I'll show you guys imperfections a little bit later because I want to get out of the rain. But this one should run and drive on its own. We have just this key. There you go, there's my focus. So I'll see, maybe I'll get a like official key for it, because it looks like it has keyless entry, and possibly keyless start once you have the fob. So this one started. We have enough fuel to get back to the lot comfortably. The only light we have is the TPMS light. Got my gate pass here. Let's pull this thing out. So off the bat, I hear brake pads, That's about it. I mean, this car is filthy. It's probably the dirtier one that I've purchased out of the four. And as you guys can see, that's open. We'll have to take a, wait, there we go. That's open. I don't know why I didn't look into it. The main thing is to get it to the lot. And then we could, you know, maybe once there's a little bit less rain, start going through the cars. But driving 12 miles, 15 miles from the auction definitely tells me a lot about mechanics and if these cars are good purchases or not. But this one has a rebuilt title. This is not a clean title vehicle, but this was my cheapest purchase of the day. And you guys will see bodies, you know, not in the best shape, but honestly, I personally think I stole this one too. There's a handful of cars that I, you know, out of the four cars, I think I stole every single one, considering what other ones were going for at the auction, what I have purchased these cars for before, even before the pandemic. With a clean title, I had one of these Sentras. I paid like 2,500 bucks plus auction fees plus shipping. I think I was like 3,500 bucks into that car. This one, the winning bid was $1,000. With auction fees, I'm 1,200 bucks into this car. $1,200 for a 2008 Nissan Sentra with 111,000 miles. Well, 300 miles away from 112, but 111,000 miles. And we are moving. I don't notice any, you know, red flags off the bat. Just minor things, detail, possibly get a new key for it. It looks like it just had an oil change because Jiffy Lube says it's due for an oil change in about 5,000 miles. Let's take it to the lot. Hopefully it doesn't overheat. Hopefully no issues. We'll go from there. Briefly show you guys, see that? That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is traffic. And this is why I started doing this early in the morning. To avoid traffic, because this area gets pretty backed up and then it's pretty slow. So it is, you know, nearly 1 o'clock right now, and as you guys can see, traffic is definitely slowing down and getting heavier.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Made it to the lot. Let me turn, nope, off. Wife won, so she's opening the gate. But Nissan Sentra runs really well. There's no rattles, no clunking, no nothing. So honestly guys, 3 out of 4 cars I would say have been very successful. Again, like $1,200 for a car like this. I mean, 1,200 bucks. I will easily sell it for $3 grand. Let me kind of park it right here. We'll do a quick walk around so you guys see the condition of it. And then we will go pick up the other one. So main thing is this right here. Looks like this bracket is broken, but we could see if we could figure something out. We're missing fog lamp on that side. This one's fine. And then I'm assuming, you know, front end damage. They kind of fixed it up, didn't replace anything. So we have rust. The goal here is to clean it up and then just use some touch-up paint to get rid of that. You know, again, just minor things here and there. It's not perfect, this right here, but mechanically it seems like it runs really well. And again, $1,200. Can you get anything cheaper? More or less that looks like this with, you know, 111,000 miles. I don't know. I do this for a living. I don't remember last time I bought a newer running car with no mechanical issues for 1,200 bucks. I don't remember that. So I'm gonna park it and we are heading back to Cross Point for the last car. But to be honest guys, I am a little bit worried about the last car. Last car is also a salvage car or rebuilt title car. Basically not a clean title car. It's a 2010 Dodge Caliber, and I've had a handful of those now. They take a little bit longer to sell, but when I do sell them, I make really good money on them. Also decent miles, automatic transmission, good red color. Because although I did see the car run through the lane, it sounded fine. It does have an ABS light on it. But again, I think I purchased it at the right price, at a good price. So I don't think it's a loss. I think that's another great purchase. But these cars, at least I kind of drove after the auction and more or less inspected them, and you know, I know that they run. This one, aside from seeing it go through the lane, I have no idea. So, and we have had more or less 3 out of 4 winners. It's almost like sooner or later one is going to be a dud. I'm hoping all 4 are going to be good, because I've had plenty duds and, you know, not the best purchases. So hopefully this one is going to be good, all 4 of them. So we are heading back to Cross Point. We should be there in about 30 minutes, depending on traffic.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I'm back at Cross Point for the last vehicle. It is a R2. Oh, I see it right here, Dodge Caliber. I see the rear end. So I don't know if this thing is gonna start on its own, if it needs a jump, I don't know. But this one I do want to check fluids, just because this is the one I did not check or preview at all. Okay, well that's a really good sign. Where's my, okay, 120,000 miles. And then this is the damage right here. And this grille essentially could get replaced. And I think the rear bumper also has a imperfection. Ooh, heavy hood, 1 second. So, I don't know. Oh, I see coolant. Okay, I was gonna say I don't know how much I'll be able to see. We do have oil, and of course, I don't know where it's going. Let me get my light. Well, we have coolant, we have oil. Let's see if it will start on its own. Fantastic. Okay, let me adjust. Whoa, this seat doesn't really go that far back. That's interesting. Oil change. So I could take a look, see if we do need an oil change. We do have fuel. And like I said, ABS light was on, so it's probably a wheel sensor or something. I just noticed that in the trunk, I'm missing like a plastic trim piece. I don't know if it's off, if it's broken, or what the deal is. And honestly, this car sounded better yesterday. I hear like very, very minor, not like knocking or tapping, but I don't know. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit off. But let's get this thing pulled out and let's take it to the lot. So already from the get-go, I feel a very minor click-clacks type of deal. So this one doesn't feel as like buttoned down and together as the other 3. It almost, you know, feels like it's more loose and more run down and beat down. But we're gonna try to make it to the lot, and yeah, there you go. As you guys can see that back there, it is missing that trim cover. Like even this mirror shakes, that one doesn't, so it's not necessarily the motor, it's just a loose mirror, but I guess they're heated mirrors. It is a few miles down the road, or it has been a few miles down the road. I am happy to report that I will make it. I will make it back to the lot. Temperature's dead center, we have enough fuel. I would say drivability, this is probably the worst one that I purchased. Again, it doesn't feel very like buttoned down and like tight. So I mean, it runs fine, but I guess just being picky in comparison to the other cars. But even this will sell. I didn't see the stuff in the back, so I'll have to take a look at that. Either it's missing trim or whatever. And then clearly ABS, and I did have to brake when I was coming to a stop, just for laughs and giggles to feel it. we got to be careful. ABS is a wonderful system, and this one is not active. So putting the camera down, and I'll see you guys back at the lot.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Guys, I am happy to report that car number 4 made it. Let's take another look. So this hood doesn't look like it closes all the way. Does it? No, it does, it does. Okay. I mean, motor sounds totally fine now. This is still busted through. I'm curious if I could put that down and bend this out, or better, just to get a new grill. So, what I need for this thing, potentially a new grill. And then let's take a look at this back. Is this, where is it? Open. This is cracked, but that will not get replaced or repaired. Ooh, the trunk doesn't open. Okay, so that not opening actually kind of makes sense, unless I closed it. I literally hit open, so why is that doing that? Okay, there we go. So this does, is that a 10 millimeter? Nope, it's not. Yeah, yikes. This back is filthy. But interior side for now is actually pretty clean, but this is the trim piece that's missing, so it looks like I need that color and that trim piece. Curious why it's not there. But I mean, aside from that, for the most part, it does run pretty well. You know, imperfections here. Again, it's not a top dollar car, it's just a car that someone needs to daily commute to work, to school, something like that. These cars are fairly like low maintenance, and if you need to fix something, they're fairly inexpensive. So like I said before, they're not the quickest sellers, but when I do sell them, I do make pretty good money on them. So I do try to buy them. Oh, this is like paper, not a sticker. So I'm gonna clean this off a little bit. See, that's more of a sticker. There we go. So I think I am going to end the video here. You guys saw me pick up 4 cars. I would say, you know, aside from like visual stuff, mechanically, all of these cars run. They got here, they didn't need a jump. Off video, once I finish this, I am going to hook up my scanner tool, see if they're ready for emissions, and then whichever ones are, I will take them through emissions. And then I'm gonna check oil. If any of these cars have dirty oil, replace them, and so on and so forth. Basically just do a general check. But I would say great purchases. I'm very happy with every single one. This one is my least favorite purchase, but I'm not gonna lose money, because I want to say with fees, everything, I'm like 2,400 bucks into this car, which for, you know, 125,000 miles with a clean title, I think it books like 5.5, 6 grand. So I got it, you know, 3 times cheaper essentially. It's gonna sell. I'm not worried about it, especially that it runs great mechanically. But here we have it. 1 car, 2 car, 3 and 4. Between 4 cars, I paid either right under 10,000 or right over 10,000. So roughly average, what, $2,500 a car, which is extremely cheap. Honestly, I expect to not double my money, but you know, if I put in 10 grand, I expect to pull out maybe 15, 16 grand from these cars. So I would say I'm happy. And before we stop, this was the first thing we picked up, and look at that, it looks like it's not letting any air out, which is also a very good sign. It's been sitting here for 4 hours now. Guys, thank you for watching. What do you think of my purchases? What do you think of the trucks, you know, the smaller cars? Would you buy them? How much would you pay for them? Honestly, I think this video was a success. I'm very happy with it. So, thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. If you're not a subscriber yet, consider subscribing. See you guys in another video.